All right, Star Wars fans. So the Acolyte is only, 5 weeks away from starting with its first two episodes? Yeah, I can't wait for this one. Finally, a time before the Skywalker saga. Now, it's not above me or below me to create a video once in a while ranting about such things. And that's just what this is. So if you don't want to hear me rant, then don't listen. But if you do want to hear me rant, continue on, because this should be fun. Now, before I get started, I do want to preface this video by saying I am a huge advocate for everyone forming their own opinions, whether they're coinciding with my own or if you have an opinion all your own that goes against what I believe. And that's fine. We're all Star Wars fans. We all love the stuff, and we're all here to either enjoy it or hate it. Yeah, hopefully we're not here to just hate it. That wouldn't be a fan at all. But anyways, so let me get on with it. And before I do, please listen to this word from our sponsor. And that sponsor is, me. Hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the Acolyte coming up. If you're excited for it, if you're less than excited for it, or you just hate it. Because I'm going to be spilling some beans about the show and its showrunner in this video, so stick around. Now, let me clarify something here, and I know a lot of Star Wars fans already know this, but it seems like some are still confused on it. The Acolyte is not replacing the Old Republic. The High Republic era does not take away from the Old Republic. Those stories still exist for you to enjoy, and they are still in print for you to consume or enjoy. A lot of people don't like the word consume when it comes to purchasing things, but you got to purchase it to read it unless you find some illegal way to do that. But the High Republic is not, I repeat, is not replacing the Old Republic. Now I want to get into something that's a little deeper than that, and that is a rhetorical question. You can answer it if you like down in the comments. Why are you hating on the Acolyte already? It hasn't even came out yet. But let me give a big answer to that one first. And it's a lot of what's on people's lips. I see it all over the place on social media. And that is because of the show's runner, Leslie Headland. Because they don't like her. Because people don't like that she was Harvey Weinstein's secretary or assistant or whatever the hell you want to call her. Well, got news for you. She was only with that company for about 6 years, and only 1 year of that she was his assistant. Now, how many of you have been an assistant to somebody else in a business? How many of you knew every personal detail that person was doing at the time? Now, I know we all want to throw her out there like some kind of Ghislaine Maxwell, that she's helping Jeffrey Epstein abduct children and send them off to an island. And I'm not saying that in poor taste. The guy's despicable, and so is Ghislaine. They belong where they are. And I mean that. But there is no evidence at all that Leslie Headland has had anything to do with Harvey Weinstein's personal dealings. Not one person, not one accusator. Is that a right word? I don't know. We're sticking with it. Not one of his accusers have claimed that Leslie Headland even knew anything, let alone was involved in what he was doing. And if you don't think that they would come out and say it because she's some power figure or something, then look at Ghislaine Maxwell. She was accused by all of Jeffrey Epstein's people. And if Leslie Headland did have something to do with what Harvey Weinstein is in jail for, then she deserves to be in jail as well. I'm not taking up for her. I'm not shilling for her in any way, shape, or form. I just have done a lot of research on it, and I've seen that she is nowhere near the person that Ghislaine Maxwell is. This is just people out for a witch hunt. Now, there is a second reason people are hating on the Acolyte. I'm sure there are many more, but we'll get into the second one right now. Now, what we will say is, okay, let's leave alone that she's a woman. Although I'm sure that does tickle some feathers out there and makes people angry that a woman is stepping into Star Wars territory as a showrunner. And I know she's not the first of the Star Wars directors or showrunners. We had Deborah Chow, we've had Bryce Dallas Howard, and a couple others that have done magnificent jobs. Wait a minute. Let's scratch that. People hated Deborah Chow's iteration of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay. Well, what about Bryce Dallas Howard? Well, she wasn't a showrunner. She just directed a few episodes of The Mandalorian. Okay, so, and the Book of Boba Fett. So, yeah, she didn't run the show. Now, had Bryce Dallas Howard been the showrunner of those series, we might be having a different discussion. So, yeah, I didn't leave out that she's a woman. A lot of Star Wars fans don't like that women are joining in on the fun. Well, sorry, they're trying to broaden the audience. They're trying to broaden who creates Star Wars, whatever. And these stories do go through the Lucasfilm Story Group in order to be produced. And if they had a problem with what she was doing, then they would cancel it. And look how many Star Wars shows have been canceled. Well, that's kind of a weak idea there, that a woman, yeah. I think that's just something stupid. I shouldn't have even used that as an answer. Now, there is a bigger reason, and the most compounding reason, why a lot of Star Wars fans are already hating the Acolyte before they've even seen it. Now, I'm not saying the show's going to be amazing. I'm not saying it's going to be the best Star Wars show ever created, because it may not be. And if it isn't, I will call it out and say, okay, this is dumb. But I haven't seen it yet, so I'm not going to say that. I'm going to reserve my judgment. But the biggest reason a lot of fans are hating the Acolyte is because of Disney. Because Disney created it. Or Disney paid for it. Disney's not creating anything. It's Lucasfilm still creating it. Disney's just shelling out the money and telling them when to air it and how much they need to make off of it. Then they leave them alone to write their projects. That's the way it goes. I'm not shilling for Disney at all. Disney has done some pretty horrendous things. The Little Mermaid. God. Can't get past that one. Beauty and the Beast was okay. Didn't like The Lion King either. Thought it was kind of an abomination of the original Lion King, which I loved. And I know now a lot of people are hating on George Lucas as well for selling the company to Disney, and a lot of people really want George Lucas back in the director's seat, the creative seat and everything. Well, let me tell you something. George Lucas is one of the largest, if not the largest, shareholder of Disney. That came with the sale of the product. He doesn't hate the Star Wars stuff as much as he says, and he's not anti-capitalism as much as everybody thinks. He's made quite a bit of money off of it. And I love George Lucas. I love what he's created. I'm so glad for it. I'm glad it's still continuing to be created. Even if I don't like every show that's coming out, there's another one. And there's another one. But I'm not going to hate on something before it even comes out. And a lot of the hate that's coming out for these shows and movies and everything is frankly getting old. It's getting really old. Let it play before you go hating on it. And I know after one episode, a lot of people are going to say, oh, I hated it. It was stupid. Well, okay, that's your opinion and you're allowed to it. And I will not fault anybody for having an opinion. But I will say, give the show a chance. Give it a fighting chance. Don't sit back and just hate it just because it's trendy to hate Disney or trendy to hate Star Wars. Quit falling into the trends. Quit listening to your favorite YouTubers who are out there trying to get clicks and views off your hate and negativity. Negativity sells so much more than positivity. Look at my channel. It's still small because I try to stay positive when it comes to Star Wars. Yes, there are things about the new Star Wars stuff I don't like and I don't agree with, but there's more of it to be positive about, and I like talking about those things. Looking at you, Resistance. Don't like you so much. And there are aspects of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series I didn't like. There's aspects of the Book of Boba Fett that I didn't like. And small aspects of The Mandalorian, which I thought were a little cheesy and overrated, that a lot of people loved. But that's just me. I'm not going to love everything that comes out. I'm not a shill for anybody. I don't get paid for any of this. I just enjoy Star Wars as entertainment, as my favorite entertainment franchise that ever existed. It's been with me since 1977. So for those of you out there who think I'm just joining Star Wars, that I'm some young buck, I'm not. I'm an old man who's been around since Star Wars inception. And I've been there watching every bit of it since then. And I can't hate a franchise that's brought me so much joy, even if parts of it have brought me less than joy. Now, I don't go looking at broccoli and saying, okay, I'm going to go taste this broccoli to see if it tastes any different. No, it's broccoli. It's going to taste like broccoli the next time I try it. And I can't stand the stuff. It makes me want to vomit. But doing that with Star Wars, saying, oh, I'm going to see if this one's any better than the last one, even though you know you're already going to hate it before going in, is like eating broccoli a second time after you threw up the last time you ate it. It's silly. Stop doing it. Stop being so self-important that you think your opinion is above everybody else. And that goes for those who are positive as well. Our opinions are not more important than anybody else's. Be respectful of those opinions. Have your opinion, but have a civil debate about it. Stop name throwing and name calling and being just a complete ass just because they don't agree with your opinion. Nobody's going to agree with your opinion 100% ever in life. That's something you need to grow up and learn. Now, me for one, like I said before, I am excited for the Acolyte. I can't wait to see this, something outside the Skywalker saga. And if any of you wanted some of the old Legends books to become canon, well, they're throwing in Darth Plagueis' master. So what's that lead to? That leads to Darth Plagueis. What's that lead to? That leads to Senator Palpatine, a.k.a. Chancellor Palpatine, a.k.a. Darth Sidious, a.k.a. Emperor Palpatine, all that stuff. Man's had more names than anybody I've ever heard of. Ugh, too many aliases. But anyways, just be respectful. Be respectful of people's opinions. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to say, yeah, you're right. And I'm not trying to change any minds. If you don't want to like the Acolyte, don't like it. But also, don't go watching it if you already know you're going to hate it. I don't watch things that I know I'm going to hate. I don't think of anything, though, that I know I'm going to hate before I even see it. Some things just don't click with me when I see the trailers, and I just don't watch it. I don't say it was garbage because I didn't see it. You didn't see it. Don't say it's garbage. You didn't see it. Don't say it's amazing because you don't know yet. We don't know. And chances are it's going to be good to mid, maybe, and even has a chance to be amazing. Everything has that chance. So just keep that in mind. Now, this was my rant, and I'm glad I did it. I know I'm committing YouTube suicide by doing it, and that's okay. Because I'm not here for the clicks, views, and money and all that stuff. This is my hobby. Yes, I have a regular job that I go to every day and work my butt off. This isn't my only job. Now, I will say this before I go, that a lot of people that like the new Star Wars stuff are starting to stand up. They're standing up against the people who are name calling and harassing and bullying just because they're tired of it. They're tired of sitting back and being quiet. And I see it all over social media. People are starting to rise up. So if you want to start fights, start fights. People aren't putting up with it as much as they used to because they love the franchise. And if you claim you love the franchise, then either watch it and try to enjoy it or don't watch it at all and stick with the original 6 films, and that's all you get. So, like I said, this is my video. This is my channel. I pay for the stuff around here. I'm the sponsor, so listen to the sponsor. Subscribe to the channel, like the video or dislike it, whatever you feel, and leave a comment down below as to how you feel about the Acolyte and what it could be like if it were a perfect world or if it's going to be an imperfect world. Until the next video, this is Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic, signing off, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you all for watching, and remember, this is the way.